Hi and welcome to David Tom Creations channel. This week I am going to do a review kind of tutorial of Wave Audio's OVOX Vocal Resynthesis VST. If you haven't really seen this, it's worth checking out. Waves Audio does a whole lot of pretty good audio effects plugins. Things like Vocal Bender, Vocal Rider. These are some of the newest ones. And OVOX Vocal Resynthesis is currently on sale for $47, which is about £35. So basically what it does is, if we have a look at this, OVOX is powered by Waves Organic ReSynthesis technology to deliver its unmatched vocal synthesis sound quality. So it takes the vocal signal and breaks it down into its core DNA elements, which is amplitude, pitch and formant. It then re-synthesizes these elements to create a new vocal sound, which is free of unwanted artifacts and preserves the expressiveness of the original voice. OVOX is instant. It says no rooting required. Simply insert as a plugin or fire it up as a standalone app. Sing, hum, speak or beatbox into it and hear the magic happen. So yeah, I mean it is pretty cool, and it doesn't just work with vocals either. Yeah, so this is the kind of basic view which you get when you kind of open it up. So you've got OVOX 1, OVOX 2, and then you can actually go to a more complicated kind of view, which is generally what we've kind of got it in. And then you've got much more controls over each OVOX, and you've also got shows you the EQ and effects, so you can add it up to 5 effects plus. So that's the list. So you've got auto pan, chorus, compressor, delay, distortion, limiter, and reverb. So you can add these in, and then you can actually also say we add in a compressor. You can actually reorder them as well just by dragging and dropping, and then you can just switch those off and on there, and also remove, bypass or whatever. Basically, if we go back to, well, go back to this view for a start. So if you click on this tiny little arrow, you get the list of all the presets. So there's I don't know how many. That's all the vocoding presets. You've got vocal comping, so you've got another batch of those. You've got doubler, you've got vocal effects, you've got synth instruments, so you've got bass, beats, drums, GTR, VHS, whatever, loops to hooks, and then you've got external carrier, and then you've got packs which come free with OVOX, which are have been created by other kind of artists. So you've got hip hop packs, so you've got doublers, synths, voice comping, vocoder and effects. You've got future soul R&B pack. You've got a detox retox pack, and then you've got artists. And like I said, there's within each artist, depending on who it is, you've got a few more presets as well. So it kind of goes through everything. And then you can actually obviously save your own presets once you have mucked about with them, which I have done there. So I've done a version of Dark Morning. So anyway, so let's hear what this does. So I'll play you the dry vocal. These are some Loop Cloud vocal samples I've got. So I'll play you the dry.
If you feel it, just let go all night. Closer.
Right, so I'll switch this on. So I am using, for some reason, Logic is being a real pain today. So I'm using vocoding, the Missing You vocoding preset, and I'll let you hear what this sounds like.
If you feel it, just let go. Closer. Get a little closer if you feel it.
So that's a male voice, and I've got a female voice here as well.
I don't know who you hardly say your name.
Right, hang on, I'll play that dry first.
I don't know who you hardly say your name. I don't know who you hardly say your name. With certain thought everything. I don't know who you hardly.
So yeah, so you don't have to use it with just vocals. So this is a bass. A bass loop, so you can actually use it with that as well. Because basically any audio signal you can run it through, so you can run drums, guitars, bass, synths, and it does actually have a built-in internal synth. So you can have voice, synth, and note source. So these are the kind of main things that you can have to well, adjust if you, depending on what how you're using it. So if we go into the kind of full version, you can see that the main things that if you wanted to adjust one of the presets would be, you've got voice, synth, OVOX, tone, and then the formant. Now those are going to change the this particular. So we'll muck about with it and see. So. Right, so you can see the OVOX is pretty much all the way around. So we'll bring some of the original voice back in and just.
If you feel it, just let go on it closer.
So
get a little closer. If you feel it, just let
and then we'll bring in the synth.
Closer. Get a little closer. If you feel it, just let get a little closer.
If you can take the OVOX out.
Just let closer. Get a little closer. If you feel it, just let go on it. Closer.
That's the tone, and then we've got the formant.
Just let go on it. Closer. Get a little closer. If you feel it, just let go on it. Closer.
So yeah, so like I said, that is the kind of main things that I have certainly been adjusting to muck about, and like I said, once you've done that, you can just save as and create your own presets. So that is kind of the kind of basic idea, and I'll just unhide some of these tracks. So let's have a look at that. So this is another one. So this is lo-fi hip hop, and it'll give you an idea of what. So this is in the hip hop pack, and it's a doubler. So we'll see what this is. So this is going to be a more kind of natural.
If you feel it, just let go on it. Closer, get a little closer. If you feel it, just let.
So you can see that you don't have to go to kind of extreme versions of distorting the voice. And like I said, you can just adjust these to bring in more voice or take voice out, and then add in some other effects. So the other thing that so that is that's a vocal sample. So obviously you can sing straight into this and hope for the best. So I unfortunately cannot sing to save myself. And the only person that can sing in my family is my mum, and unfortunately she never passed down the gene for singing. So I'll let you hear the dry vocal on this, and this is me singing, and this is Missing You, or Will Be Missing You, kind of plug-in as well, a preset. Step into the sunshine. I love this feeling. Right, so I think we can all agree that is freaking awful. Right, so we'll see what this this actually does to an awful voice rather than one that's you know, somebody that can actually sing. Step into the sunshine. I love this feeling. Step into the sun. So you can see that has made a remarkable difference, and I actually sound fairly normal, fairly in tune, I should say, rather than normal. That is pretty cool, considering, like I said, my voice is absolutely shocking. Right, we'll play another one. And I've got quite a few tracks here. So I've duplicated my vocal track. So this is Step Into this is still this sun. Awful. But what I'm doing is I'm actually running it through a synth. So instead of so I'm using the synth and emotional dance blocks preset, and I will now create a bit of EDM with my voice. How cool is that? I mean, and obviously, like I said, there's loads of other instruments, and yeah, so that is one of the kind of, depending on obviously what you're singing, some of them are going to work, some of them aren't. For instance, let's try the next one. Eternal Rhythm. That's Galaxy Arp. But you can see, I mean, you know, some of them are obviously going to work, and so obviously I did pick one that actually kind of sounds pretty good. So yeah, so that's something else that you can do with it, which is, like I said, pretty cool. Actually, let's go back to E piano lo-fi. Right, okay. And then there's loads of other things you can change. You've got all these different chords, harmonies, and scales to change as well. So there's a hell of a lot you can actually do. So for instance, well, let's go back to that one, which works. So that's in EDM minor 3. So if we change it to, say, major 5th, and just see what... So you can see that does actually make quite a bit of difference. Let's try EDM 1. And then back to EDM 3. So you've got all these things, plus you've got these other waveforms down here. You've got ADSR 1 and 2, you've got amplitude, pitch and formant controls. So like I said, you can't really get in, then you've got the EQ and like I said, the effects. So you can't really go in and change it. And obviously you don't have to have both of them running. So you can switch one OVOX off. So that's just OVOX 1. I still think that is quite a good little riff there. Anyway, right, so that is something else you can do. Longer vocal samples of me singing, just to show you how good this thing is at making an awful voice sound actually quite passable. So yeah, so this is me with the missing you.
Go far from the dark cloud, pray for the new day. It's time to move on.
So yeah, so let's see, try, let's bring in, what have we not got? Say a reverb.
To the sunshine.
So you've got other. Yeah, I forgot to mention that you've actually got other kind of little presets there as well.
It's time to move on. Step into the sunshine.
And then we can go and muck about with the EQ as well. So.
Pray to the new day. 'Cause it's time to move on.
And we could change the LFO.
To the sunshine.
So yeah, so you can see you can muck about with all these
To the sunshine.
as well. So that's pretty cool. Right, so let's try this and see what it sounds like with a bit of backing drumming. Let's just start it from there. Bit of an intro. So this is whatever trapdoor.
To the sunshine. Go far from the dark cloud. Pray for the new day. It's time to move on. Step into the sunshine. So far from the dark clouds. Pray to the new day. 'Cause it's time to move on.
So yeah, pretty cool. Right, so this is another thing that you can do with OVOX, and that is actually use a Midi controller. So I've got my LX25 hooked up with an actual audio track as the source. So what you do is you open up, create a new software instrument track, and then go to the AU MIDI controller effects, and then go to WAV, and then just OVOX stereo. So do that, and then basically drag in any audio file onto an audio track, and then mute it, and then go back to this, and then in the side chain go to whatever that is. So I've got audio 1, so go to audio 1 on the side chain, and then that's it. So if you play, you can then play the MIDI controller, and it will actually play the vocal track. So let's have a go and see if this works.
Feel it, just let go on it. Closer, get a little closer. Feel it, just let go on it. Closer, get a little closer.
So yeah, so basically you can just go up and down the scale of the keyboard, and play. So I mean, obviously this doesn't have to be a vocal. It could be anything. It could be the bass. It could be an actual synth as well, just running it through. Right, so there we go. That is another little trick that you can do with OVOX Vocal Resynthesis, using it with a MIDI controller. So that is it for this kind of review tutorial. There is a lot more to this, but yeah, I mean, I think this has gone on long enough. But there are some other videos by Waves Audio, and you can actually go through more of all the other controls on this and play around with it even more. But anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this this review. And as usual, if you are enjoying these videos, like and subscribe to my channel. And hopefully I will see you next week. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.